Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Thursday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is August 30th, 2018, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Durango Herald, a man who was arrested in the Gem Village area Tuesday on suspicion of a carjacking in New Mexico was identified Wednesday. David Garcia, age 36, is being held at La Plata County Jail and he is being charged with aggravated vehicle theft, said Chris Burke, a spokesman for La Plata Sheriff's Office. He said he expected Garcia to face charges in Sandoval County, but he could not say when Garcia might be sent back to New Mexico. Garcia was arrested around 7:30 p.m. Tuesday when a resident reported a man with a suspicious story approached him in his driveway, said La Plata County Sheriff Sean Smith in an earlier interview. Residents in the Gem Village area and west along the U.S. Highway 160 corridor received a reverse 911 call Tuesday warning them Garcia was in the area. Helicopters, sheriff's deputies, and state troopers were seen in the area searching for Garcia.
Reported in the Journal Photo Courtesy, a Montezuma County Mounted Patrol horse who kicked and injured 2 children during Escalante days was startled by the kids' roughhousing, which included being struck by a plastic hammer, according to witnesses and sheriff reports. But relatives of the victims disagree with the sheriff's report. On August 11th, 2 Mounted Patrol officers were standing at the intersection of Central Avenue and 5th Street in Dolores. The horses were calm as a crowd gathered to meet them, said Deputy Donnie Brown, one of the mounted patrolmen. After feeling his horse shuffle, Brown said he heard a child scream behind him. He dismounted and administered first aid to a child whose head was bleeding, and an ambulance was called. The crowd became, quote, extremely loud, Brown said, and included shouts to kill the horses. Witness and police report states that the 2 children, cousins ages 4 and 7, were playing behind the horse and one fell into the horse. The older child was kicked in the back, and when the horse returned its leg to a standing position, the hoof struck the head of the younger child who was on the ground, Nowlin said. A nearby store owner told investigators that leading up to the incident, he had seen one of the 2 children chasing the other child and hitting him with an inflatable Thor's hammer toy. When the chase arrived at the police horse, a child, quote, aggressively hit the horse with the plastic hammer, according to a report of the witness statement. Speaking to the Journal on condition of anonymity, relatives of the 2 injured children who were at the scene disagreed Wednesday with witnesses' statements that the children were roughhousing. They also said that they believed it was inappropriate to have horses in an area where children were playing in the first place. Going into an area on horseback where kids' games are going on should not have happened, said a relative of the child kicked in the back. The penny hunt game was near where the mounted patrol horses were. A relative of the child injured in the head, said the incident had been traumatic for the family. There was no roughhousing and a plastic hammer was not involved. The child struck in the head by the horse was transported to Southwest Memorial Hospital and then to Children's Hospital in Denver and has since been released. He required 5 stitches. The child struck in the back by the horse suffered an abrasion and is okay, said Nowlin after meeting with the family. Nowlin said procedures were being reviewed for mounted patrol horses during festivals because of the incident.
Reported by the Durango Herald, time and again, Chinese American students consistently delivered top academic scores only to be denied admission to their dream school. Parents bemoaned what they saw as an unfair racial advantage given to Black and Latino children while their own children were overlooked. This may sound like the fights going on today over testing in elite public schools in New York City or lawsuits against prestigious universities such as Harvard over affirmative action. But the scenario played out more than 3 decades ago on the other side of the country over a public high school, demonstrating the enduring nature of a controversy in which Asian Americans have played a key role despite some feeling shut out of the broader conversation. In the 1980s, San Francisco's prestigious Lowell High School required Chinese applicants to score higher on an admissions index than whites, blacks, and even other Asians as part of a legal mandate to diversify its schools. Chang, a Lowell graduate, couldn't believe that was fair or even legal, but when he turned to Asian American civil rights groups, they were of no help. So he helped form a legal foundation and sued. Race-based affirmative action has long polarized Asian Americans, with critics feeling demonized and advocates chagrined by the attention to what they call minority within minority views. Now, critics of the policy sense an opening for change led by a White House hostile to the idea of considering race in admissions. The U.S. Department of Justice is backing a 2014 lawsuit against Harvard University by Asian American applicants who say the Ivy League college unlawfully suppresses the number of Asians admitted. The DOJ also said last year it would investigate a May 2015 complaint filed against Harvard by a coalition of Asian American groups. The 2014 lawsuit, led by conservative strategist Ed Blum, is being closely watched as it goes to trial in October. It could wind up before a more conservative U.S. Supreme Court that only narrowly affirmed the use of race in school admissions in a case that Blum lost 2 years ago.
From the Cortez Journal, file photo. Increased traffic on the Dolores Norwood Road has prompted the San Juan National Forest to add 4 miles of chip seal surface. Dolores District Ranger Derek Badilla announced this month that $502,696 has been allocated to chip seal Forest Road 526 from the end of the pavement to the Montezuma County line. This section is highly used and requires a lot of maintenance in any given year, Padilla said. Chip sealing will provide a better surface that requires less maintenance on an annual basis. He said the road was specifically targeted for the upgrade because of the need for forest restoration treatments in that region, requiring increased use of the road. Traffic from industrial, recreational, and residential users has also increased on the road. The Dolores Norwood Road starts at 11th Street in Dolores and then becomes County Road 31 and then Forest Road 526. It's currently paved for 11 miles. It's a key thoroughfare for loggers, ranchers, property owners, Kinder Morgan, and hunters, and provides recreational access to Boggy Draw Recreation Area and McPhee Reservoir. The road also provides access to Groundhog Reservoir and the town of Norwood. County Road Supervisor Rob Engelhart said the county will do the chip seal project in the spring or summer, and it will take less than a week. The section of road was recently re-graveled and reshaped in anticipation of a chip seal. The county and forest share maintenance of the road as part of an annual agreement, but the county has been doing additional work, Engelhart said. Kudos to the forest for providing the funding for the chip seal, he said. We all know it's become a very busy road. Forest Road 526 has been the topic of a jurisdictional flap between the Montezuma County Commissioners and the San Juan National Forest. The county claims right-of-way jurisdiction because the road was there before the National Forest was created in 1905. Forest officials say the county must file a claim in federal court which would decide the matter. But Montezuma County Commissioners say they don't have to and have stated that the forest should prove that the road is not a county right-of-way. The commissioners want their jurisdiction to be recognized so they can drop transportation fees charged to loggers and commercial users of the road. In another twist, forest officials said if a court does validate the county's jurisdictional claim for the section of Dolores Norwood Road under the RS 2477 legal process, it still does not translate to county ownership of the land underlying the route. If the right-of-way assertion is granted, forest officials said the county would gain the right to maintain the route through federally owned land, but no title would be transferred.
According to the Cortez Journal, new mandatory marijuana pesticide testing in Colorado is putting a financial squeeze on local cultivators to the tune of thousands of dollars in increased costs. The added expense is the latest financial blow to hit the state's cultivators, which are already struggling with falling wholesale prices and a glut of product. Colorado's Marijuana Enforcement Division is requiring pesticide testing for marijuana flower and trim, but not concentrates. The new rules took effect August 1st. Other states with recreational marijuana programs, such as Oregon and California, also require cultivators to submit their cannabis for pesticide testing. In Colorado, the added cost amounts to $100 to $120 to test each strain. Tim Cullen, CEO of Denver-based Colorado Harvest Company, which grows and retails medical and recreational marijuana, said the process is costing him about $2,500 per week a week per grow to comply. However, the new rules have been a boon for cannabis testing labs in the state, which are being flooded with new business, although some company owners and industry groups say the tests don't do enough to protect consumers from unwanted chemicals in their marijuana, and even more needs to be done. And now, let's take a look at the weather.
Here's today's national weather map, courtesy NWS and NOAA. For another day, most of the western U.S. is under dry and warm or hot weather, with a low-pressure system starting to move in over the Pacific Northwest, bringing some rain over Washington. It's now mostly rain and thunderstorms on tap for the eastern half of the U.S., with southeast Kansas and southwestern Missouri in the crosshairs for potential flooding from all the recent rains. Regionally, a persistent area of mid-level high pressure extending from the eastern Pacific off the southern California coast to the southern plains will continue to act as a barrier to subtropical moisture across the region today. As a result, there is little chance for precipitation even over the highest peaks. However, satellite and upstream data indicated that there will be some moisture in the upper reaches of the atmosphere, so expect high clouds to move overhead during the day and even some virga. Meanwhile, conditions will make for a breezy afternoon, especially across the northern and along the I-70 corridor. Temperatures are set to raise above average for the highs this time of year again today, but thankfully the lows will cool to near normal levels by sunrise on Friday morning. That's the most likely time for any potential rains over the higher mountains, and there is a regional hazardous weather warning due to wind, low humidity, and dry fuels. Critical fire weather conditions will develop late this morning, continuing through the afternoon and into the evening. There's a chance for afternoon and evening thunderstorms each day, again seeming to be just over the higher mountains. So the DCTV 5-day outlook shows for us that similar pattern we have been in for a while now. Today sunny with a high near 85, southeast winds 5 to 15 miles an hour becoming southwest in the afternoon. Tonight mostly clear with a low around 55, southwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour becoming east-southeast after midnight. And then Friday mostly sunny with a high near 83, southeast winds 5 to 15 miles an hour becoming southwest in the afternoon. Friday night, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 55. South-southwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour becoming southeast after midnight. The chance of precipitation is 20%. Saturday, a slight chance of showers with thunderstorms are also possible afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 79. South-southeast winds are 5 to 10 miles an hour becoming west-southwest in the afternoon. The chance of precipitation is 10 to 20%. Saturday night, partly cloudy with a low around 52. And then Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 79. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 52. Labor Day, partly to mostly sunny with a high near 79. Monday night, partly cloudy with a low around 53. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 80, and some models are showing a slight chance of showers coming in overnight. Tuesday night, partly cloudy with a low around 53. And now, back to the news.
According to the Durango Herald, the world has changed a lot in the past 30 years, leaving no shortage of possible causes for the global obesity problem. More calories, more sugary beverages, less physical activity, poor sleep, and so on. Now, according to a paper in the British Medical Journal, there's a new one: the rising use of antidepressant medications. Researchers at King's College in London analyzed an impressive British database containing nearly 300,000 clinical records of adults whose body mass index was measured at least 3 times. They wanted to see whether they would find a relationship between antidepressant use and the development of obesity. Britain and the United States have similar obesity rates, among the highest in the world. In the United States, antidepressant use has climbed about 65% since 1999. About 53,000 adults in the British database with an average age of 51.5 had been prescribed antidepressants for the first time during the course of the study. In the next 8 years, they were far more likely to gain more than 5% of their body weight than those not on antidepressants. This gave individuals taking antidepressants an average adjusted weight gain risk 21% as high as those not taking antidepressants. The risk climbed to 50% as high for individuals using the antidepressant mirtazapine or Remeron. The study team concluded widespread utilization of antidepressants may be contributing to long-term increased risk of weight gain. They nonetheless advised that no one should stop taking antidepressant medication or adjust their dose without a medical consultation. The newly published study uncovered only an association between antidepressants and weight gain. It did not establish a cause and effect relationship.
Sourced from the Dove Creek Press, written by Tammy Barr, PhotoRicoColorado.gov. This is a partial accounting from the Rico Town Board of Trustees meeting August 15th, which opened with Liam Chamberlain On the agenda, asking for permission to allow an RV to be parked at the gas station for a couple to live there as security for the property. Their presence helps reduce littering and theft, he said. The board was accepting to the request but needed to consult the attorney to determine if a variance was needed to be in place, and for that process, a variance request will need to go on a future agenda. A large part of the meeting broadly focused on the children's educational issues following the closing of the Rico School this past year. The floor was open to citizen comments. Mayor Zach McManus first addressed the new Dolores County School District Superintendent Ty Gray and School Board Member Jenny Smith, who were in attendance. Issues involving transportation continuity, stewardship of the vacant school, and possible transportation alternatives for the 2 remaining students who want transportation to Telluride were the major topics. Discussion involved options for Rico to be absorbed into the Telluride School District and what would be best for the students in Rico. Trustee Keith Lindauer stated there needs to be a change, in his opinion, with Dolores County not involved. He believed that due to the distance of 71 miles between Dove Creek and Rico, that Rico has been forced to be independent. He voiced his concerns that Dolores County does not want to deal with Rico. The floor was open to public comment, and a member of the audience asked the school board about their thoughts on the transportation issue. School board member Jenny Smith said as a parent she would want a school in the town. Then she asked, what does the town want? Stating she has not heard from the parents and wants to hear from parents. Superintendent Gray reminded the trustees and the members of the audience that prior to the school closing, there were several meetings regarding the closure and that no parents had stepped up forward then. No one called the school and asked for transportation. There was no input from the parents. He said, we cannot make a plan if there's no input. Murmurs from the audience suggested there had been contact over and over. Superintendent Gray reminded the trustees that people have been going to Telluride for school for a long time. The mayor and the superintendent discussed the possibility of Rico moving to Telluride School District and how the school board is open to this change. Superintendent Gray also reminds that the 2 remaining students without transportation can be educated through the Dolores County School District with online learning. Trustee Barbara Betts voiced her concerns and reminded everyone that in September, the school board had a different administrator. Superintendent Gray reminds her that it was the same board members, just a different superintendent. He reminds her that the previous superintendent had no plans. He closed the school and stepped down. Jenny Smith added that Dolores County School District felt it was important for the students to have a school in the community and kept the school open even when there were only a few students attending. Later, she added that concerned parties should contact the school district directly. The rest of the discussion focused mainly on what to do with the old school building, the potential to transfer ownership to the town, or the possibility of setting up a charter school, and still others suggested a community center. Town manager Carrie DeStefano was up next and gave her updates on the water distribution systems, meter upgrades, and reestablishment of a water source. Silver Creek intake vault clogs with silt and is hard to maintain, especially in the spring. They discussed 3 options for fixing the issues with runoff, debris piles, and soil being displaced. There was talk about membrane filtration and a 2-treatment transfer system. There was discussion of hydropower and water rights, with possible sites to put the new plant. They narrowed it down to the gazebo site and the Pasadena reduction site. The biggest challenge for the town was property ownership and floodplains. They discussed funding strategies and completing the project in phases. There was talk of also laying steam pipes along with the new water pipes while the ground was dug up for the project. They also discussed each phase, starting with the bridge. The town manager updating the trustees regarding the installation of an electric vehicle charging station and the grant that goes with it. This would put Rico, quote, on tourist maps. The trustees moved into action items where they supported an ordinance allowing accessory dwelling units on lots less than 7,500 square feet. The next action item was the first reading of an ordinance to adopt a fee schedule for marijuana establishments within the Rico town limits. There was discussion regarding the fees established for marijuana establishments in the surrounding counties and using them as a reference. The trustees approved it and moved into the next action item, the first reading of a revised tap fee ordinance, which was also approved. They approved the renewal of the Enterprise Bar and Grill liquor license and adding additional trustees to the Dolores State Bank signature card. The last approval went to a letter supporting First Southwest Community Fund grant application for funding of a capital and transaction advisor. For full agendas and minutes and all town business, go online to ricocolorado.gov.
According to the Cortez Journal, the Flagstaff Airport will offer non-stop service to Denver starting next year. The city announced Monday that it has partnered with United Airlines for service to the Denver International Airport. It's expected to begin March 31st with flights leaving twice daily throughout the week. The airport currently has non-stop daily service between Flagstaff and Phoenix through American Airlines. The carrier's seasonal flights to Dallas and Los Angeles end this month.
From the Durango Herald, Jerry McBride and File Photos. Crew members working on a film about author and counterculturalist Hunter S. Thompson's run for Pitkin County Sheriff are starting to arrive in Silverton, and filming is expected to start next week. Silverton is the primary filming location for Freak Power, the story of Thompson's bizarre campaign for office in the 1970s. Known as the founder of the, quote, gonzo journalist movement, which claims no objectivity, Thompson wanted to be sheriff in a mostly conservative county where Aspen is the county seat, that he felt needed to be transformed into a place that welcomed rebels and activists. One of his platforms, for instance, was to savagely harass all those engaged in any form of land rape. Silverton will stand in for Aspen in the 1970s after several hotels in the area vied to be the filming location. Jay Bulger will play Hunter S. Thompson. Don Johnson and Susan Sarandon will also star in the movie. The film's production team specifically had asked for a hotel that would look like the Hotel Jerome in the 1970s that is located in Aspen, said Stephanie Burdett, office manager for Region 9 Economic Development of Southwest Colorado, as she told the Durango Herald in December of 2016. Ultimately, Silverton fit the bill. Hotel Jerome was a dive bar in Aspen in the 70s, but it has undergone so many renovations over the years, it no longer resembles the interior during the time Thompson lived in the area. Silverton will be home to about 90 members of the film's crew for about 6 weeks, said Deanne Gallegos, executive director of the Silverton Area Chamber of Commerce. Director Bobby Kennedy III, grandson of the late Senator Robert F. Kennedy, received a $300,000 rebate from Colorado's Economic Development Commission to shoot the film. Kennedy settled on shooting in Silverton after interviewing those who knew Thompson, said Rebecca Berto, costume designer for the film. Silverton has made a concerted effort to recruit films to help diversify the local economy, and it seems to be paying off, Gallegos said. It is the latest in a series of movies to be filmed in Silverton. Gallegos expects there will be many more because the town has so much to offer film crews. We're still raw and real and true, Gallegos said. The town offers great value for filmmakers because of its natural beauty. Berto said that you can shoot a movie with a smaller budget and make it look like you spent 10 times the amount. But its remoteness also creates some challenges for the costume designer. Berto has spent the last 2.5 weeks chasing down props in local thrift stores. She found some needed items in Silverton Theater Group's storage container parked in the woods. One of the biggest challenges with any movie is finding uniforms from the correct era because law enforcement departments tend not to keep them. But for this film, Sheriff Bruce Conrad, who's working as a co-producer on the film, provided 1970s uniforms kept in the San Juan County Courthouse. Familiar Silverton landmarks such as the American Legion, Grand Imperial Hotel, Silverton Town Hall, and the San Juan County Courthouse may make appearances in Freak Power, the name of the movie, Gallegos said. Familiar faces are also likely to pop up because the film is recruiting more than 100 extras. Those interested in appearing as an extra in the film can email pcfreakpower@gmail.com and include a snapshot of themselves.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of August 20th through the 26th. Smoke report on County Road 19 off of Highway 141 was relayed to San Miguel County Sheriff's Office, and they took over the call. A resident called in a report stating that threats were made. An officer responded, and the case is under investigation. A business alarm was sounding, and an officer responded to find everything was okay. An expired deer was reported in town, and an animal control officer and a Dolores County Sheriff's Office deputy responded and removed the deer. Report of a car versus deer was reported on the 5600 block of Highway 491. An officer and a Colorado State trooper responded to the scene. Illegal hunting on private property was reported. An officer and game warden responded to the scene. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. The Dove Creek Chamber of Commerce shouts out that the deadline for submitting your photo in Dolores County for a chance to win $100 for the winning photo is Saturday, September 1st. The top 12 will be published in the Dolores County calendar as a fundraiser for the Chamber. Email your horizontal photo to greaterdcchamber@yahoo.com, and thank you for all your support of the Chamber. August 30th in Cortez from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Destination Grill, the Cortez Median Group will host a meeting. They say, quote, "It's our goal to publish all needed information to assist the citizens of Cortez in halting the median project. I was informed that there have been 2 previous endeavors before the City Council without success. We also have an email, cortezmedianproject@gmail.com. A meeting was held Wednesday the 29th in the morning, and today, Thursday the 30th, a meeting at the Destination Grill is at the smaller conference room there. This plan is going to take funds to operate, and donations are appreciated. You will receive a receipt, and an accounting of all income and expenditures will be available for anyone to see. These are open meetings that will be conducted fairly maturely and with decorum. Everyone will get a chance to speak. For more information on this effort, go to their Facebook page at Cortez Citizens. August 31st through September 2nd, this Labor Day weekend, is the Four Corners Labor Day Weekend Rally. It'll be featuring a hot bike chopper show, hooligan, dirt dash, flat track racing, motorcycle parade, vendors, camping, and much more. Get all the information at fourcornersmotorcyclerally.com. Don't miss out on it, or you can call them at 210-823-2359. And all the happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us by email, dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call the station 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand.
And be sure to like us there on Facebook and join in on the news of our area. And of course, please share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.